Never thought I'd be writing here, much less visiting an old friend here. This is Megafloat, the city of the waters. With its construction in 2013 and completion in 2019, it was said that Silversun Incorporated could make the impossible possible. Megafloat was the first and only seafaring city ever made in the planet's history. Silversun placed a small airbase on Megafloat, and also used the city as a supply point and staging area for their naval and air forces. From the beginning, this city was built along with many private plant and research facilities. However, nowadays it was essentially functioning as a military base. Private residences were also built and sold only for the employees of the facilities. But that's not why I'm here. The real reason I'm here is to meet Captain Cydney Halo Valoroso. Her first appearance was in the first day of the Iron War on December 30th, 2015. She was the sister of Captain Julius Valoroso, the Italian ace of the Stealth and Star Raven squadrons. During that battle, we retreated separate ways and continued to fight the war in our own parts of the world. After the war ended, her achievements earned her a place in the Star Raven squadron, the same one as her brothers, Star Raven 3, and eventually was qualified to fly the Fighting Thunderbolt Mark II. As our tour of duties continued, she became part of the prophecy as the Warrior of Water. She was gentle, kind, and peaceful, but if the people of her country or her world were threatened, she would not hesitate to use all of her awesome powers in their defense. Well, I never thought I'd see this place. Not in a million years.
Well, anything is possible, my friend.
So, Miss Valoroso, I am elated that you survived the final confrontation.
I'm glad you survived too, especially considering what you managed to achieve.
Well, it's really nice not being an outsider of my own stake now. We're all a team again. We're all a fighting force.
Oh yeah, we're still here. It's still a shame about the others that didn't make it.
I know.
We turned away from unity when we did that, but we turned from our duty and destiny as well. In that moment, we became vulnerable to the aliens.
We did what we had to do, what we were all willing to do, in order to achieve our duty.
I know, but I still wish there had been another way.
May we never forget. Well, looks like our Major is having a great time. This is definitely a well-earned break, I gotta say, Madam Prime Minister. Thank you for arranging us to be here. So, what have you been up to since we last met?
Well, I returned to New Zealand. Too much applause, I might add.
Oh my. You really have risen a fair bit, haven't you?
The IAR High Command promoted me to Major, and several campaigns later, I'm in command of this new task force.
You, my dear, are a warrior.
The IAR is organising a new air defence force separate from the Pacific Defence Force, specifically tasked to protect the Pacific Islands and their resources. My task force is to train pilots to the best of their ability and protect Oceania. Are you joining?
Oh yes. On behalf of the Tyrannus Aerospace Corps. And Australia, of course. Anyway, I know you're in a bit of an uncomfortable political position right now. But don't worry. We'll see that Silversun stays in line. Just remember, they are the aggressors in this building conflict. Such is the case with Silversun Incorporated. I know they've developed many advanced scientific technologies, some for military purposes, I might add. But along with its rival, Yastreb-Sova Enterprises, they've started functioning outside of the framework of smaller nations. Now the company has territorial holdings, but the IAR's mission is to ensure that no other conqueror defiles the Pacific again. That is why we are here.
Of course, let's do it, Wedgetail. Let's ignite our spark.
And if all else fails, our new top-secret cutting-edge destroyer is out there patrolling for any potential submarines that are said to be lurking here. Again, it is nice to have you on board, Madam Prime Minister. You're the leader we definitely need.
Flight Lieutenant Andrews. General Finlay, sir. This will be your squadron's new weapon.
Wow, she's a beauty. You will be one of the few people actually in the cockpit. The Vanuatu volunteers will be accompanying you from the ground.
Ouroboros, an underground terrorist organization formed sometime during 2013, and the group behind the Russian front of the Iron Wall. They are a transhumanist group who believe that humanity can ascend to a new plane of existence by uploading their consciousness into the cyberspace known as the Electrosphere Network. It seems in the Solomon Islands they've picked up the remains of the Total Attack faction, a religiously motivated paramilitary of Australian origins who captured and detonated nuclear weapons against the Chinese in the Pacific with wild abandon. Several islands were damaged by their detonations. This unauthorized rampage prompted a British SLBM attack on their base. Aside from local reports, the nuclear explosion did not reach headlines in the chaos that was brought by the Third World War. It seems Ouroboros capitalized on their feelings of loss and betrayal, as terrorists do. In response, New Zealand is bringing out their newest weapon, the MQ-72 Wedgetail, an optionally manned, short-range, land-based interceptor. Such a plane was built as the response to the alien fleet raids on New Zealand in 2017.
AWACS Galaxy to all units. We will now commence mission operations. Ouroboros anti-air defences have been making it difficult for the Australian forces to move supplies across the country to assist the local forces. Eliminate any terrorist presence in the area so we can provide a pathway to secure a supply line. Bogies detected, bearing 190. Engage.
Squadron, attack!
I'm already on it. Splash 1. Diplomat, I know you're eager to fight, but try to stay in line.
About time. Comic engaging. Firefox 2.
Route 1, master armors on. Engaging. Fox 2. Splash 1.
Carreria 1, all systems check out. Let's begin. Squadrons, attack. Fox 2, target destroyed. Doesn't look like a home for them anymore, huh? The enemy will answer for this.
Monarch, Splash 1. Bandit down, great work. Proceed to neutralize the enemy air defense network so our transport supply units can get through.
That's the last of those fighters.
This is Kahu 1. I have visual on the bomber drone fleet. Squadron, engage! Let's send those big robot planes back to Silicon Hell. Remember, intel confirms they are radar-guided gunners. Keep your eyes open and don't get shot.
Huntsman 1, the bomb's away. Target's hit.
Careful of that AA fire.
Switching to ground attack.
Route 1, guns! That sand is history.
Target defenses confirmed offline.
Heads up, large enemy. Formation incoming.
Same bearing as before. 190. They've got an airship and fighters. Huntsman D, we're sending the closest patrol units that can assist you.
Hostiles on radar. Moving to engage.
Let's go hunting, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa! That other cruiser's on our side!
The Discovery-class airship Freedom. She's brand new. A famed Lady Mama pilot for the controls too. Stay focused. The enemy's got a cruiser too. All wingmen, consolidate and attack it from all angles.
Roger. Lead.
Copy that, lead. I've got a lock.
Huntsman 2, Fox 3.
Tally-ho on bandits.
Huntsman 1 locked on.
Fox 3. Garuda, Fox 1, Fox 1.
Huntsman 3, Fox 1. All AA guns destroyed.
Aim for that cruiser's cockpit and send it to the scrap heap. Direct hit. Alright.
Splash 1 cruiser.
Nicely done.
Focus your attack on the last stronghold.
Copy. Garuda 2, cruise missile away.
You want to live forever? Let's give these guys what they paid for.
All fighters, press the assault. They're not getting through here. Fire guns! Nicely done. The bomber is taking heavy fire. Vessels and fighters confirmed destroyed. The supply line is now open. Excellent work, squadrons. Return to base.
That was some nice flying, Wedgetail. You'll shine your spark before you know it.
Boomerang 1, you've got a clear lane.
Roger that. We're going in. Thanks for the hard work, fellas.
Everyone settle down. We've received a distress call from the IAR Containment Outpost 56. The outpost is located at the summit of Nabukelavu, a volcano located on the southwest portion of Kadavu Island in Fiji. Its last eruption was around 1660, and it has since formed lava domes. The outpost is containing a level 5 monster. In response to the monster threat, the Republic of Fiji military forces has mobilized all assets to Kadavu. The Silversun Second Fleet has been spotted in Vanuatu, and is proceeding at full military speed to the island, as well as having ignored all other messages to stand down. That fleet must not be allowed to interfere with this operation. We cannot rule out a possible confrontation, given Silversun's aggressive actions recently. Your orders are to scramble to Fiji. After mid-air refueling, you will rendezvous with the USS Salem and proceed to Kadavu. From there, await further instructions. Prepare for the worst.
This is aerial warship USS Salem approaching Fijian airspace.
Enforcer 1, do you copy?
Copy that, Allied forces. All mercenary forces have been scrambled. The volcano in Kadavu is going to blow.
Roger. On direct course for Nabukelavu.
Outpost 56, do you still read? USS Salem, Outpost 56, reporting mass seismic activity. An eruption is imminent. Evacuation of civilians is still underway. Outpost 56 control, unable to maintain. We have a containment breach. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Outpost 56 has been compromised. Requesting any military support. The creature is out of the facility. He's emerging.
I have visual. He's wide awake.
I'm guessing they have a catchy name for this creature?
Legends call it the One Born of Fire.
Well, that's comforting.
The Silversun Second Fleet, it's coming in force toward this island. We have to finish the evacuation. Well, we better hurry, because it's closing in fast. Wait. Commander McGrath? Don't you realize? The fleet is coming this way. It's drawn to Big Bird's cry. They're probably looking to mind control it or kill it. One of those two.
So, if we lure the monster to that fleet, they'll fight each other.
forces. Initiate full retreat. Repeat, full retreat. This way! That fleet has been a pain too long. It would be nice to see them defeated.
Enforcer to all units! Target has not been reduced! He's coming towards you!
All squadrons! Let's lure this turkey away from the island straight to the Silversun fleet! Slayer Squadron, engage on our 6! Copy, stop the clock. Target acquired. Locks 3. Break off, now!
Monster! 3 o'clock high!
Watch out!
Blue one! He's on your tail! Blue one, get out of there!
Blue one, ejecting! Unidentified aircraft on guard. Unidentified aircraft on guard. You are approaching our fleet. Divert immediately. Blue one is off the team. ETA to the fleet 60 seconds. Monster coming up with your 6.
Break off now!
Evasive maneuvers. Evasive. Ugh, losing control. I can't hold. All surviving aircraft. Pull back now. ETA to the fleet. 10 seconds. God damn! They blew the monster right to us! All guns fire! All guns fire! Pull up! Now! The Silversun fleet is engaging with full firepower. Jesus, they're killing each other. Mayday, mayday, this is Buzzard 1. Buzzard 1, what's your status? We're screwed, that's what, and we've got children on board, requesting immediate retrieval.
Look at it! I can't believe this! Let's head to the tanker and cover the retreat. This is only the beginning.
The Silversun fleet and the Radon fought with equal tenacity. The experimental heavy cruiser unleashed its monster specialized weaponry. A desperate salvo from its railgun managed to injure the creature, but failed to kill it. The Radon then tore into it and consumed its nuclear reactor to regenerate. Fully energized, it then took to the skies and emitted a high-frequency squawk that resonated for far beyond. The other Radons, already lurking throughout the ring of fire, were quick to respond. Throughout China, the several members of the Fire Radon flock unleashed their rage on the closest cities, while the remaining Siberian Northern Radon flock continued its wide-scale hunt for prey. Another individual, White Radon, rose from the first discovered nest in Pike-Du Mountain, the second to do so in history. Just like in 2017, multiple Radons were present near Rome, and claimed the Italian peninsula as their feeding ground. In Papua New Guinea, a smaller, bioluminescent form of Radon, locally known as Roko, took flight. This, combined with the rising pandemic, has placed the world in crisis again. Our space operations to provide humanitarian aid had to begin, and quickly.
Day 1. The autumn water has finally arrived at the island. It's one of the most remote places on Earth, and horribly windy. So, it's great for the penguins, and sea birds and seals, but not that great a place for people to live. It's going all the way back to the creation of Earth. The Sparrowhawk is coming out, ready to fly. Day 2. The expedition is proceeding as planned. I'm still not sure why we were sent here in the first place. These islands are among the most remote places on Earth. They are over 4,000 k's southwest of Perth, 200 k's more southwest of South Africa. a little bit less southeast of Madagascar. The closest landmass is Kerguelen Island. So why, oh why, would they deploy resources here? The answer, supposedly, is to find the creature that is slumbering here. Myclis. It's a creature that has supported the forces of Earth during the invasion. It left on a quest in 2012 and was never to be seen again. Until now. Commander Langham has ordered the Terranist Science Regiment to search for him and bring him back home. Day 4. Believe it or not, we were actually attacked by a hostile aircraft that intruded the airspace. It fired a cruise missile at us. If our ship didn't carry SAMs for defense, the missile that plane was guiding would have hit us. These guys, flying very high, came from the coast of Madagascar. They're a separatist force, engaged in full combat with the corporate giant that reigns supreme. Yastreb-Sova Enterprises had capitalized on the power vacuum left by China after the war, which in turn capitalized on the chaos brought by the invasion. YS had purchased its way up the food chain, and sure enough, it now functions outside of the framework of nations. The company has territorial holdings. Many of these nations were attacked when a space pirate fleet initially appeared on the west coast and began crossing the continent to the east, annihilating countless smaller developing nations along the way. Many rulers of dictatorships abandoned their citizens and fled, resulted in a loss of public peace and order. And while Yastreb-Sova successfully brought the nations back on track with gigantic rail and road projects to utilize their vast resources, some dictators were wanting to return. Campaigns in Madagascar and Somalia were in full force right now. Hell, Mogadishu is about to fall to them. But the question of many is, who is the faction they are behind? Day 7. It was unbelievable. As the ship retreated to a safe distance, the Mawson Peak and McDonald Island erupted in a spectacular display of fire and sulfur, far worse than previous ones. Glowing rivers are now cascading off the mountains into the sea, scorching it into steam. And yet, my orders are now to prepare to return to the surface, this time with the security team.
Disco, you're a loss. We've got the Myclis. He's alive.
So that's the creature?
We have to pick it up.
The ground's too unstable, we gotta move fast.
Get in the chopper. Move!
Never gone feet wet into lava before.
We got it! Let's get out of here!
Okay, breaking off. Let's get out of here.
Hold the water to Garuda 2. Do not attempt to land. We have a non-hostile aircraft inbound.
Whoa, that guy's way bigger than the last one.
Launch missiles! Target the aircraft!
Damn! Why am I not armed?
Deploy flares! Deployed! Spark 3! The missile is still on course! Damn! Sir! Jam! You better lose lock! Damn it! We have no time to launch a second one!
Wait, Garuda 2, radar on. Commencing ECM support.
Wait! Delta reacquire! Enemy aircraft shot down! All hands brace! Garuda 2, quick thinking on your part. You are cleared to land immediately.
The Myclis was a little confused after waking up from his sleep. After a moment of nursing, he was fully awake. This critter can talk, and he recalled engaging in a fierce battle with the alien forces in Africa. But his injuries were too great, and he retreated as far back as he could. For something like him to heal, the volcano was his best source of power. After we spent hours catching him up on the past few years, he now has a series of directions that he believes we should follow. We have to be on high alert though. He is not the only creature that is awake now.
Well, gentlemen, thank you all for coming on such short notice. We've done a great job of upgrading this airfield. We have a full-on airbase now, and I dare say, a weekend retreat. You never know. And better yet, we managed to create it without deforesting the area, unlike certain other corporations in this country. Well, that sure escalated quickly. Now we've got more monsters to deal with.
Oh joy.
It's popping off now, lads.
What do we have to deal with this time?
The Alpha Radon's call didn't just summon other Radons. It also was interpreted by various other creatures, most notably emus. They formed a command structure and are scattering across the countryside in an organized fashion. So the armies had to execute another wildlife nuisance management military operation or something like that. What is happening? I don't think anybody saw this coming. I can tell you what's happening. The Second Emu War. That's what's happening.
These emus are crazy. We've got an organization between flocks and somehow gained new powers. We've got armored emus, giant emus, emus with guns.
It gets worse. There are reports of an untitled goose meticulously being a nuisance to a small town in Victoria. Its precision and its annoyance suggests that it's also heard Radon's call. The reason why I sent you here is because a few days ago we received an order from High Command that the space operation is going to launch a few weeks ahead of schedule. Again, sorry for the short notice, but we're setting this place up for fly-in, fly-out space flights. It's nearly complete as it is, but you'll be staying here for the next few days. So, be sure to get yourself accustomed to the surroundings and make yourselves at home. On March 15th, Operation Spirit of Fire, an opening mission of the greater Operation Restoring Salvation, kicked off. We set off into space, gathering materials and minerals to help our country recover. As the Aerospace Strike Force and Interstellar Expeditionary Force followed the trail led by the Miklos' knowledge, Commander Raiden was sure that it would lead them to something legendary. As our brave heroes struggled through a most treacherous journey across the Gulf of Space, the shadow of the unseen enemy was never far behind. As the noble group followed the Miklos' guidance to Jupiter, the various clues turned to the Jovian moons, and their varying surfaces led the Expeditionary Force to a strange and forbidding place on Io, not seen by human eyes. So, Remorse, this is the place?
Yes, sir. That's definitely where the Miklos said it would be.
Procyon to Starship, do you read me still?
Copy, Commander. I have visual on the objective. Wow. I'm certain no one's seen this before.
You may approach it, with caution.
Okay, no sign of danger. Do I pick it up?
If there's no sign of danger, you may proceed.
I got it. What? Oh no! Oh no! Tremors! The force is coming!
Get out of there!
Okay, I dropped it! Uh-oh.
Grab it, quick! Damn. We lost it.
Oh, damn.
After all that.
It's gone.
Commander, look!
A mask. A glowing mask.
Whoa. The Mask of Light.
I'll pick it up now. Wow. Never seen this language.
Alright. Let's get you back on board, Starship.
Copy. Wait, another tremor! Ah! Lava's incoming! Help! Pick me up!
Hold on, we're reeling you in. Get him out of there, quickly! Come on, man.